assuming this works, and I suppose it does, YouTube, I guess, has made this even more complicated. So now, not only, even though it once actually recently did this without doing this, but it was, you had to click 2 times to click go live. Now you have to actually stream the video over to go live. But at least for now it takes. Anyway, this is going to be on a number of things. But first of all, I want to state, and this was based largely on a misunderstanding of a Twitter user. If you care to see my Twitter account, by the way, I lost a subscriber, and I don't know why, but I lost a subscriber, and my Twitter account is Humanist Philosophies. If you give a shit, look up Philosophies spelled IES. Philosophies, humanist philosophies. That's my Twitter account, and that's what things seem to be going half-ass right on for the moment. Anyway, but the point is, I would like to bring attention to something I have talked about before. No, it is not okay to ask your boyfriend to be circumcised or to cut the skin off his cock. It would not, for the same reason, it would not be okay for him to ask you to have a labiaplasty or cut the skin off your cock. So if you're not willing to do this, don't ask that of the guy. If you don't want to, don't ask him to. And if you would do it, then you're kind of a mental case. But if he is too, then you two oddballs do your thing. But instead of that, if that's not the case, don't. Anyways, the point is, 2 more pressing matters. Trump, or as I like to call him, our Kool-Aid man in chief, has recently outlawed the chokehold by policemen other than for self-defense purposes. Now, you might ask, how in the hell does a policeman, in the case of having, say, a gun pointed on him, need a chokehold? I don't know, but nevertheless, if it can help him, good luck with that. But other than that, it has been outlawed, and I give him credit for outlawing it for that reason. I don't know why you didn't just do this a month ago, instead of threatening to call in the National Guard and causing a lot of drama based on complete stupidity and threatening your presidency. But nevertheless, at least to Trump's credit, and I will give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not going to shit on him. He did the right thing. He outlawed this. He should have outlawed this, and he did a number of other things to help with different policing in different communities, and good for him. But nevertheless, and in any event, I'm glad about this, and that is good. And you should not choke somebody to death. It has happened 2 different fucking times, and while the nation, half the cities in the nation almost burned to the ground. But at least he finally decided, you know what? I think the Democrats are right. Now you have to wonder, had it not been from the pressure from his right and the indifference, from the pressure from his left and the indifference even from the right, and even Pat Robertson saying, what the hell is wrong with you? Would he have done this? I don't know, but at least he did, and that's all you can ask for. And I would like to show you the dog. She's over here, and she's adorable. But I'm not going to. Anyways, the point is, good for you, Trump, Orange Man. You might have stopped someone from being choked to death needlessly by an insane sociopathic cop. Good for you. Took you long enough, but good for you. Anyways, beyond that, I was watching about Harvey Milk. Harvey Milk. Yeah, there's a porno waiting to happen. Anyways. Harvey Milk, it could be a shemale porno, it'd be hot. Anyways, Harvey Milk, he was killed, and it's actually worse than I thought before, and I don't remember the asshole's name who killed him. But I have talked about this before in the White Night riots and how fucked up it was. It was actually even worse than I reported it to be, and I thought I reported it to be pretty crummy, but I guess I didn't quite get the gesture or get the nature right. But in all actuality, what had happened was he was not the mayor. He never even got to be mayor of the mayor, wherever the hell that was. I forget. I think New York or wherever. But no, it was San Francisco. I think it was San Francisco. He never got to be mayor. He was considered mayor of that Pacific district because he was very well known and important in that area. And he worked with the mayor of the actual city. And there's something else. What was it fucked up about it? I forget. But anyways, the point is, the guy who killed him, he used a literal junk. Oh yeah, I remember the White Night riots. I associated with something else. It was the raiding of gay bars, and that helped fuel the flames. If that was not even the problem, it was literally the killing of this guy. And he worked with the mayor to try to help gay rights and promote gay and LGBTQ or gay and transgender rights for the better. And Bernie Sanders, not long after this, also did the same thing, not based on any specific special rights or even rights movement, but simply based on, as he said, all human beings deserve the same rights and deserve the same treatment, deserve the same equal treatment. And unfortunately, we have many idiots in this country who don't feel that way. But the point being is, he was gunned down along with the mayor, and then the White Night riots happened, and they tore down a bunch of shit. And meanwhile, they were in Castro City at the in one of the bars with some of the gay bars and stuff, supposedly arresting people and throwing them in bandwagons. While meanwhile, keep in mind, by the way, the riots were happening dozens of miles away. So that tells you a lot, doesn't it? But whatever. And by the way, I was uploading that and a number of other. Sorry, I was uploading the Sex the Revolution, basically the Atari series, minus maybe like one video because I just got tired. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I uploaded all but one video out of Sex the Revolution. And it's like long list of videos onto my website, my blog on Twitter, and that is Humanist Philosophies, spelled IAS. In case anyone is interested, because I did work very hard on that, trying to upload all these videos, and I assume they took, but who the hell even knows? Anyways, the point is, I did try, and they're up. If you're interested, I hope, I think, and you can see them. So there was that. What else is there to talk about? Oh yeah. I saw on Ziegler's blog day, even he's reminiscing and blogging about his match with Shameless all the way back in 2012 or 2012, before they pulled the plug, or not plug rather, but trigger on a face turn that should have made him a superstar, a main eventer, and put him in the main event. And CM Punk around that same time was still, I believe at this point, still in a good guy, and he was heavyweight champion and in the main event, one of the longest reigning champions up until that point, when they actually had reasonable limits on championship reigns. Imagine that, brother. But they did have that, and then he turned heel and eventually lost to Rock, and Rock wrestled Cena again in a rematch we had already seen. But anyways, after that, they did finally, for the love of God, turn him back into a face or a good guy. And then, of course, he quit not long after. But Ziggler also was injured, and that turned him face. And it was a lot like an Austin face turn against Bret Hart, and it could have served as a form of a double face turn. And it could have worked very well, and it could have put Ziggler over almost on the same level as Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels or Ric Flair. Maybe not Ric Flair, but at least Shawn Michaels, I think. But they never did pull the trigger on it correctly, and they never did try, like a number of other things. And Punk left the company, and everything went to shit. And it sucks until this day because they don't give a fuck. And now they fired it. As I have talked about before, they have fired Heyman. And it's a pile of crap. But anyway, that's about all. And I just wanted to tell you about that or talk about that. And that's all. Peace 666.